Hello everyone, this is Steve from stevezanella.com. How are you today? It's a cold and rainy, freezing rain morning here in New England, but I'm alright. Hope you're alright too. Taking a little easy on the roads today, everything's a little slick. It's just an excuse to slow down, enjoy the drive into work, be mindful. That's all. Just another opportunity. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about one of the biggest roadblocks that I see, that I've experienced personally, and that I've seen other people experience, to being able to take control of their lives. And not just of their lives, but of their thoughts, of their situation, of their feelings. Oftentimes we feel as though we are victims of the world. People do things, they treat us a certain way, and they cause us to feel pain. Our parents did things when we were kids. Maybe you're the victim of violence. Maybe you are a victim of neglect. Whatever it might be, we have a tendency to look at our situation and blame the outside world. We look at the things that have happened, the things that have taken place, and we feel much like we are out of control, that we are unable to do anything about it. This causes us to feel weak. It causes us to feel frightened. Oftentimes it causes us to make decisions in our lives that we don't necessarily want to make, but we feel as though we don't have any choice, as if our life is out of our control and there's nothing that we can do about it. So one of the reasons why that is such a hard thing to break out of is, in order to understand that the way you feel internally is something that you can control. In order to feel that, to feel like you can control the things that are going on inside of you, you must first be willing and able to accept the reality that you are responsible for the life that you live, and not that it is a product of things outside of your control. We cause ourselves so much suffering in our lives because we believe things are forced on us. But in reality, we always have a choice. We have the choice to continue to feel out of control, or we have the choice to take that control back and to approach our lives in a manner that allows us to make better choices, to make better decisions, to build the type of life that we want. The problem with the idea of taking responsibility is it forces you to accept that where you are right now is because of the choices you've made. You are the reason your life is the way it is. And that is so difficult for so many people because it's easier to blame someone else. It's easier to blame the outside world. It feels better to say, my life sucks because of you or this situation, or I got fired from my job because my boss is a jerk, or I didn't get into the right school, or I'm just not smart enough, or whatever. Whatever story you're telling yourself, whatever excuse you're using to allow yourself to stay trapped in the story that you've created for yourself. And that's exactly what it is. It is a story that you have created for yourself, that you continue to choose to tell yourself. And that's hard, and I'm sure that there are people out there listening to this who are probably getting irritated. And that's normal. It's okay for you to hear something like this and for it to irritate you, because your initial response to feeling uncomfortable is this sort of mental rejection of the idea. So just, if you can, sit with this idea and think about it for a little bit. Everything that has gone on, every choice that you've made, you are where you are because you've always had control. And even when you feel as though you don't, it's because you've chosen to relinquish that control. Now, at first, that's going to seem like a negative because many of you don't like where your life is. But you have to be willing to take the truth that your life is the way it is because of the choices you've made. Now, the upside, once you get over the hurt, once you get past the rejection of feeling that that's not true, once you start to accept that and allow that to sink in, the beautiful reality comes into place that if you've chosen to create this life, you can choose to create another life. That it is within your control to take back the life that you have and to build it in a way that is going to bring you happiness and joy. You have control. You always have. But in order to take control, you must first be willing to take responsibility. So that's what I challenge each and every one of you today to sit and think about. How have the choices that you have made, how have they created this life that you're living right now? Open yourself up to the idea of taking responsibility for who you are, for where you are in life, and start accepting the reality that you can control and change it for the better. That is how you take back control over your life. That is how you change your situation from one of fear and anxiety and dread to one of love and happiness and support and kindness. That's how I did it, by first taking responsibility, by understanding that my life was a product of all the choices that I had made. And I always blamed the outside world. I was one of the worst, man. I just believed everyone caused my life suffering, that it was my parents' fault, that it was my friends' fault, that it was my girlfriend's or wife's fault. It was everyone else's fault in the world, but the reality is it was always my fault. I always had to take responsibility because at the end of the day, other people did things, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying other people haven't hurt you. That's not what this is about. But when someone hurts you, you can either dwell in that pain or you can choose to use it. You can choose to overcome it. And you can use it as fuel to improve your life through choices. If you're going to get up every day feeling sorry for yourself, that's a choice. And that may sound a little rough, but it absolutely is. Sometimes you need a little tough love in this world. And one of the toughest bits of love that I can give is to tell you, you have control. If you want to wallow in self-pity, that's a choice. If you want to accept the idea that your anxiety is too big and you can't fix it, you can't control it, you're a victim of it, that's a choice. You're making that choice. You can also choose to fight. You can also choose to start working on yourself, to get help. You can choose to push back against that anxiety and that fear, to take a stand, to say, damn it, I am not putting up with this anymore. This is my life and I'm taking it back. You always have that choice. And when you begin to love yourself, when you begin to be kind towards yourself, the idea that you have to take responsibility for your life, and maybe your life is really screwed up, and maybe it sucks to think that it's your fault. But you know what? Damn it, take it on. Love yourself. Take it on with kindness. It's okay to fail. We all screw up. Today could be the first day of the rest of your life if you're willing to accept the fact that everything up until this point has been in your control. And everything from this point moving forward is also within your control. You've allowed your life to get out of control, and that's okay. Accept it, understand it, and move on from it. And start building the life you want. Start taking back control. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen. So that's it. That's my bit of tough love there this morning. I hope you listen with an open heart to the things that I'm saying here, because they truly come from a place of love. They come from a place of me wanting to see each and every one of you experience their full potential, because we are, at our source, infinite potential. We each are an opportunity to experience an amazing world, to live an amazing life. And I want each and every one of you to have that same experience. It feels amazing. It is an amazing place to approach the world from each and every day. And sometimes, you got to go through a few things in order to come out on the other side better. And I hope that you're willing to do that. And I'm telling you, if you do, it's worth it. All right, that's it for me. If you have a question or comment, please type below. Feel free to shoot me an email, steve@stevezanella.com. I'm always there. I always respond. And until we talk again, I hope you have an amazing day.